Welcome back, ladies, to Sisterland Investors. My name is Elizabeth. For those that are new, I am going to discuss how to be bold and fearless investors. How do we get to be bold and fear? You want to overcome fear, build confidence, and take action to invest now. So the way we do this, let me see. I think a couple of you are in. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so acknowledge the fear. We want to make sure we acknowledge the fear. I think all of us have some kind of fear to invest, which is natural. I think fear is natural. It's an emotion. It's a primal emotion designed to protect us. The thing about it, it's like very pronounced and so much practice in our neural, chemical, physical body that you react and don't want to do anything. It stops the majority of us from taking action, from doing things that we want to do. And I've experienced fear all my life. I think in every little thing, like being a mom and buying a new home and traveling and things of that nature. There's like fear all around us. It's there to protect us from danger. It's a part of survival mechanism, triggered flight or fight, which is like a freeze response, like you don't do anything. And we don't want that. We want to take action. In modern life, fear often shows up in situations that there's no real physical threat, but like investing, public speaking, starting something new, which is this, and real estate. So I do want to cover this, and I want to help you ladies that are stuck in not knowing how to take action because of some kind of fear or anxiety. So let's get real for a second. If you're feeling scared and you're not alone, again, like I said, all of us have some kind of fear, to lose money, to maybe it doesn't go out the way we want it to go. Maybe the outcome's not going to be like the other person that invested and they did well and I'm not going to do as well. I think we all have that little self insight talk within ourselves that stop us and we get paralyzed and we don't do anything. So that's natural. Fear of losing, fear of failure, fear of losing money. It's all natural. But here's the truth. Fear is just your brain's way of saying this matters. Instead of fighting it, let's reframe it. So this is crucial. When I learned this, I started taking more action and being a little more bold because I think we all have that natural tendency of feeling fear. It seems so real. But when we learn to reframe it, that completely changed everything for me. So I'm going to give you examples. When I would feel that fear, I would just say, maybe I'm excited. Elizabeth, you're excited. And my son came from school the other day, and his school is very, very keen with emotional intelligence. They sit down with our kids and they teach them how to reframe emotions that they're feeling, how to rephrase them in their mind and make a different interpretation of them. And when he came home and told me, Mom, it's not fear. I'm not fearful. I'm just super excited of doing this presentation in front of my classroom. And I was like, wow, they're teaching them this so young. And I wish every school and every teacher and everyone out there knew and reinforced that every time we feel fear, to rephrase it and say, maybe I'm excited. Maybe that's my future self saying, this is the way to go. Keep moving, keep going this way. So when you learn to rephrase it and actually get excited about investing or having a new opportunity to partner up with an investor, it's a great way to see it in your mind. It's like using your imagination for something great. And when you use it for something good and you see something good coming out of it, you're less fearful and more excited. So rephrasing your fear and saying that you're excited, or it's your future self. Ladies, when you say this is my future self saying, go for it. You see things just a tiny bit different and it'll motivate you to take action and it'll motivate you to keep going, to do something so different than what you're used to, just being scared and not taking action and not doing it. What if your future self is cheering you on? This is your moment. if you use that and say that to yourself, you're going to feel different and you're going to be more bold to take the action to do what it is that you want to do. So again, rephrasing that emotion that you're feeling, that sensation, and saying you're excited, or it's your future self talking to you and telling you, go for it, do it. This is the time to do it. So yeah, turning fear into a positive signal is huge. It's very important. The second thing that we want to do, analysis paralysis loop, we want to stop the analysis paralysis loop, because a lot of us will sit and analyze, and I catch myself doing this. I'll sit and look at a property and I tell the people, the leads, that I'll take 24 to 48 hours to call them back. And I know within the first 5 minutes, of course, at the beginning, it would take me longer to analyze the properties because I had like a little bullet thing that I would go through to make sure it's a good property. And now it's more like I see it, I do all my due diligence, and even then sometimes I get it wrong. I'm not perfect by no means, but why does it take me 48 hours to call them back? Like, it shouldn't take you that long. Stop analyzing, stop going back and forth. Yes, sleep on it. I'm a huge believer on, if you're not 100% sure, sleep on it and go back in the morning with a fresh mind to revisit that investment opportunity and talk to whoever you need to speak to. Hopefully other investors that have done what you're trying to do. But stopping that loop and stopping that self-talk that we have within ourselves that tells us, no, this is not a good deal, or I'm going to lose money on this, or I'm not too sure of this, or I'm scared to take the risk. Being self-aware of that little inner chatter is huge. And get help. Partner up with one of us. Partner up with someone in your community that could help you become aware of yourself, negative self-talk. So breaking the analysis paralysis, close your eyes for 10 minutes. I do this, ladies, every morning. I know it sounds cringy or crazy, but I highly recommend it to everyone for anything that you want to do, to take a few minutes in the morning and at night to visualize yourself where you want to be. I think this is crucial. If you don't know this, do it. I'm getting a call. If you're not doing this, you need to get into the habit of starting to do this. It'll reframe everything in your life. It will reshape your whole experience of reality when you start setting time for yourself to visualize and see yourself the way you want to be. So take a few minutes every morning, 10 minutes, doesn't have to be long. Close your eyes, see yourself as that bold, fearless investor. Like analyzing deals, closing deals, see yourself, whatever it is. Like, how would you be if you were a bold, fearless investor? I'm dropping papers. Write it down. Take a moment, write it down. What would you be doing? How would you be acting? How would you be behaving? Who would you be talking to? What discussions would you be having? All these things are important for you to visualize. Write them down so you don't forget them, and you practice them at least for the next couple of days. And let me know. I want to know how you're doing, how this is reshaping your neurological brain and whole body, because your brain's part of your body, nervous system. So I want to see how that goes along. Imagine the version of yourself already investing, already winning. How does she stand? How does she breathe? What's her voice like? Notice these feelings, and certainly in your body. And then the other thing that I like to do to anchor these positive emotions, these positive reinforcements that I'm getting when I'm visualizing myself as a great investor, I like to tap myself on my chest or press my hand lightly. And this is called anchoring. I learned this from Tony Robbins. I can't believe I went blank. Tony Robbins is like, I love him. So Tony Robbins, where you use something to anchor. So you could either do your chest or your stomach or your knee. Make it something subtle that only you know that this is me telling myself, stop being fearful. And you're that powerful, bold, female investor and that you could do it. So use something to anchor yourself. Whenever I'm making the call, I'll tell you right now, before I make the call, I take a few seconds, envision myself, and I tap myself in the shoulder lightly and I say, Elizabeth, you got it. So these are little anchors that you could use for yourself to anchor your emotion with that state that you want to do business and you're going to take action. Okay? So every time you feel doubt, press on your chest lightly and say, I am that powerful, bold woman investor. And try it out and let me know how it goes. I'm so excited because I know that I've told a lot of people. I've told my sister, I told other female investor friends to try to do this before they make the calls, before they send the emails, to try to do it. And it just puts you in a different state, and then you're going to feel different. And out of that comes different actions, like more better actions, like bold actions. And therefore your results are incoherent with what you're feeling now. So that's one example of how do you break the loop of being paralyzed and overanalyzing every single thing. You've got, ladies, rewire your story. That's the third little tip that I want to give to everyone here. Rewire your story. So what do I mean by that? Again, going back to when I first started, and a couple of friends that have been investing with us, when we first started, we were scared. We're like, okay, we don't want to ask for money, so we're going to use our savings. So I honestly started with very small. I think it was like 5 or 10, no more than 10,000, if I recall correctly. And because I was like, land, really? Land? I've, again, had purchased homes and leased the homes, and the homes were paid off, and I would get equity from the home to purchase another home. I had done that, and when my husband came back and said land, I was like, really, land? Like, not seeing my tax returns where the land value goes up and the home value goes down. I don't know, it was so obvious for me. Now it's obvious, but back then it wasn't, and I was terrified of putting at minimum 5,000, 10,000 of my retirement into land investing. And when I tried it, I had to tell myself a new story. Like, I won't know unless I try. I won't know how the outcome is unless I give it a chance. I was hearing other investors doing it and they were doing great, but I had to retell my story. I had to flip the script and say, what if it goes well? What if I don't fail? What if those 5,000 turn into 10,000 or those 10,000 turn into 20,000? And I had to start small in my mind in order to go bigger. And I encourage every single lady here listening to try the same thing. Like, flip the story instead of like, I'm scared of losing. Say, what if I win? What if my return on investment is a lot higher? I'm ready to learn. Instead of being, I'm scared to try this, I'm ready to learn. Again, we've mentioned this in previous podcasts. It's not that you fail, you're learning. We say we failed because we've lost money, but it's learning. And I'm glad it started with something small. Small meaning losing 20K or 15K here and there. But we've learned big because now we go into bigger properties, bigger acreage, bigger return of investments. And we take all these small little, what we call losses, as learning experiences into our bigger investment opportunities. And I highly recommend for every single lady listening or man listening that you need to rephrase the way you're saying it. Like, instead of saying failure, don't say failure. Say it was a learning experience. It was very valuable. Yes, it cost me 20,000 or 50,000, whatever it cost you. But now you're learning, and it won't happen again. Trust me, when you learn the hard way, it won't happen again. Instead of asking, how can I afford this? Instead of saying, I can't afford it, ask yourself, how can I afford it? Questions are very powerful because it gets your brain thinking. It's kind of like AI. It depends on the question you ask it, on the feedback you're going to get back. So The question you ask has the power to respond to you in a different way. Instead of saying, I can't afford this, your brain will give you automatically all the reasons why you can't afford it. But if you ask, how can I afford this? Again, your brain will start looking quickly, like quicker than any computer, on ways on how you can afford it. So what you ask is very important. The way you ask, reframing the question, is super important. Words shape our reality. I'm a firm believer in that. Words do shape your reality. What you tell yourself, what you say out loud to your friends and family will eventually start shaping your reality. And if you don't believe it, try it. That's all I could say. Start small. Start with yourself. Start telling yourself a new story, and you're going to start seeing different outcomes. They're not like, whoa, an angel dropping from the sky. It's not like that, but you'll start noticing different things little by little. Become very self-aware. Ladies, become more aware of yourself. Choose a story that empowers you. Always, always, always choose a story that empowers you. Don't wait for the outcome to be phenomenal. Start before you even get started in investing or anything in life. Start already building that confidence and start telling this new story. Because if you start with fear and you start with your old stories, you're going to stay stuck where you are right now. Wherever it is you are right now, you're going to stay there if you keep telling yourself the same thing over and over. So start something different, even if you don't believe it now. Even if you don't believe it right now, because it's not the truth. How can I say I'm a powerful investor if I have never invested, Elizabeth? Why are you telling me to lie? I'm not telling you to lie. I'm just telling you, start telling yourself a new story. Eventually, your subconscious, which creates everything, will believe it. And then you're going to be a powerful investor. Very empowered. Replacing disempowering questions with empowering ones will create your new investing life journey that's empowering. Number 4, prove it's possible. The proof that I have is with myself because, again, when we first started, my husband didn't want to deal with rental properties anymore. We didn't want to hire someone to manage our rental properties because we had hired some people here and there, and it was just, we didn't have great experiences. So then he said, let's just do land. There's nothing to fix, no toilets, no roofs, no termites, no foundation issues, no ACs that have to get replaced, no sinks or dishwashers or refrigerators or microwaves that I need to go fix or replace. Let's just try it. I was terrified. I was like, again, scared. So we did our whole thing that I just told you. If you haven't listened, go to the first 2 podcasts. I think we discussed it there in more detail. And it proved to work. So 5, create urgency. You want to create urgency for the people that are selling and the people that are buying. Not in a bad way, but you do want to move it quickly. If you want to sell the property, you want to let them know that there are other investors looking at it. Because I always have my email list of investors that want to buy, or developers that want to buy in this area, or agents that have clients that are looking in this area. Again, we've been doing this for more than 7 years. So I've built this list slowly. It wasn't like overnight. I've keep their emails, keep their phone numbers of people calling you, agents calling you, developers calling you, investors looking for land in this area, because you will come back and you will want to email them and call them and let them know what you have. And people knowing that you have other people looking, it creates an urgency. If they really want it, they will bite on it. They will take it. Again, our properties, the way, at least for me, the way my sister and I work, we put them under market value for a quick sell because we're still getting a profit. So we buy them under market and we sell them under market. So of course they're going to go off the shelf quick. Again, we're not trying to get greedy. We're not trying to make another 30K extra when we know we can if we sit for it for a year or 2. but we don't want to sit on it for a year or two. We want to turn around, sell it to the people that do want it, that really want it, and they get it for an excellent price. They know they're getting a deal. And even those people that bought from me have brought other people, other buyers that want to buy because they know that I'm selling it right under market. I'll give you an example. If the market on one of the properties we have right now, I could easily sit on it maybe a year, maybe 2 years. I don't know how long. I mean, the market's saying right now 2 to 3 years. We could easily get 400K. I have it for 200K, slashed it in half, and I'm still making a nice return. I'm making a nice return. The investor that came in with me, she's going to get a nice return. So with all that said, there's enough room, wiggle room to beat the market, beat other people that are out there because you're getting a nice return. You're so under market, it will sell quick. So that's a great way for you to create urgency for your buyers. For the sellers too, they're getting, I know the market's a little crazy right now, but the sellers a lot of times want to get what was selling a year ago. I'm speaking right now, March. We're already March 2025. A year ago, they were getting way more, or even 2 years ago, way more than what the market was saying. People were actually in or outside of Houston, Texas. A lot of people were getting more than what they were asking. The market was asking because the demand was so high. People were moving in from California, New York. The demand was so high. And yes, I was getting outbid by other either investors or people that were coming from California thinking, oh my God, this is like basically free for them. So they were putting out the cash and they were purchasing property for higher than market value. And even to this day, I'll speak to sellers where they still don't want to sell because they think they could get what was selling 2 years ago or 3 years ago. And it's not. If you send them what sold in the last year to them, which I have sat down and done that with my broker, we've created a list of what sold in their area, their acreage and everything that they have similar and what they sold. Then they're like, okay, maybe you're right. I do want to sell. I do need the money, or I don't want to pay the high taxes because the taxes went up. And then they turn around and sell it to me. And then we turn around and sell it again under market and get rid of it quick. So, ladies and gentlemen, whoever's watching this, the best time to invest again is now. The best time was yesterday, but the best time right now is now. Don't wait. I know a lot of you investors sit and wait. Maybe tomorrow it'll get better. Maybe tomorrow the interest rates will go down. The rates will come down. Inflation will come down. I don't know what downside you're waiting for, but don't wait. I think the best time is now. We saw it in 2008. We're seeing it again now. You need to start investing now. Start looking wherever you are. Look at the market right outside your community and start seeing what's going on there. And then start analyzing, doing the comps for there, and then start making offers. It's very simple. Look to see what's going on in your area. Make offers. Find investors if you don't have the money, but start buying. Buying now, selling now. Don't wait. Do not wait. Partner up with people that you know and that you trust and start creating your wealth. Hold on to the properties if you want to hold on to them. Sell them if you want to sell them. Great. Get a little profit. Start doing it now. Why you? You want to partner with us. Again, we've been doing it for a long time. You want to make sure if it's not us, it's other investors that have been doing it, but make sure you partner up with someone that knows what they're doing. Again, there's a lot of courses out there. I've talked in my previous episodes who we learn from, what we do, who to stay away from. I didn't say specific names, but I gave you ideas on people that call themselves land gurus or real estate gurus to stay away from. And people that you can trust. So we felt the fear. We made the mistakes. We built roadmaps. So you don't have to. When you join us, you're not just declining your family, you are family. We're family. We're called the Sisterland Investors because we take you in as a sister. We walk you through it, show you what we've done, what's worked for us, what hasn't worked for us, and we hold hands and we go in it together. We could put our money if you don't have the money. If you do have the money and you don't want to do the analysis, we'll do that for you. Whatever it is that you need, feel free to reach out. We're happy to work with you, ladies. The power is in partnerships. The power is in learning. The power is in starting and acting out now, looking for what's out there and doing it without having that fear, that little self-talk that keeps you from not investing. Again, real estate's a great way to build wealth. We see it. The market's gone up. My homes that I have leased out right now are going up. Make sure you put some under your belt and use them as leverage and get equity from it and keep growing. Do not wait. Do not wait, ladies. Leave me comments down below if you want to start with us. DM us on Instagram. That's where we are active. YouTube, you can email us. But get started now. Don't wait. I love you, ladies, and I wish you all the best. Be bold, be fearless, and start investing now. Love you.